Welcome to Too Fond of Books. My name is Janelle, and in this video I want to tell you about my all-time favorite historical mystery series. Now, I have a hard time ranking the books that I like, but whenever I think of historical mysteries, this series consistently rises to the top. It's always on the forefront of my mind, and therefore I think I can fairly easily say that it is my favorite historical mystery series. And that is the Sebastian St. Cyr series by C.S. Harris. This is a series that is set in the Regency in England. Now, this is probably one of the reasons why I love this series so much. The Regency is a fascinating time period. There is so much going on. So King George is on the throne, but King George is ill. I don't know if even now they know exactly what was wrong with him, but he I believe was going through some mental health issues, although it could have also been some other physical illness that he had. We're not entirely sure. And so because he was unable to rule, his son became the Prince Regent. And his son is known as he lived, I was going to say dissident, but that's not right. Is dissident right? No. So the Prince Regent, he is well known for building the Brighton Pavilion, and for being a layabout and having a lot of women and being more interested in clothes and fashion and food than in ruling the kingdom. But there was so much else going on during this time period that was fascinating. The Regency is the era of Jane Austen and Lord Byron. It is the time of great scientific discovery and inventions. There was a lot going on in this time period. We move into the wars with France, the Napoleonic Wars, and so there was just so much that is fascinating in this time period, and so it is a rich pool for the author to draw from for plots and for characters. And characters leads me into the other reason why I love this series so much, is she's created characters that I love. Some that I love and some that I love to hate. And so what else do you need in great characters? So Sebastian St. Cyr is a Viscount. He is the Viscount Devlin, the son of an Earl. And he is a man who, in the first book, he's just come back from fighting over in France, and he is shattered by his experiences in the Napoleonic Wars. He has a friend that he was fighting with, Dr. Gibson, who is fighting his own demons as a result of being in the wars. And so Sebastian is just a fascinating character. So aside from dealing with the repercussions of war, he also has some family issues that he's dealing with that span the length of the series that is just fascinating. We also have another character called Hero, who Sebastian meets in his first book, and she's a great character. She is a woman out of her time. She is highly intelligent, and also highly compassionate. She cares deeply about matters of justice and about the poor people. And she feels like it's her job to get the word out because the upper crust, the upper class, are so good at ignoring the issues, and so she dives right in and writes articles about various things. So she writes articles about the children on the street who sweep away the dust and the leavings, say, from the horses on the street. She writes about their experiences, and she writes about people in the workhouse, and she writes about what it's like for the poor and working class people, which really irritates her father, who is Charles Lord Jarvis. And Lord Jarvis, although he doesn't have a specific position in government, he is a highly influential, very, very powerful man. He is a cousin to the Prince Regent and a man who enjoys delving into politics, and so he has the ear of the Prince Regent, and the Prince Regent listens to him, and so Lord Jarvis is a man who is very, very powerful, very, very influential, and also very, very shady. And so it's such a fascinating group of characters that I love. And then the stories that she writes are just really, really interesting historical mysteries. I love the mysteries in each one. I love the historical detail that she brings out. She is just a fantastic writer. So the stories themselves they're just really well written, very well plotted. I'm always drawn right in. They're very atmospheric. And I'm always just really interested in the mystery itself. I love the ongoing storylines that have been playing out throughout the series, and I really hope she's not done yet. So I don't have the whole series, but I have a good number of them, and so I will show you the ones that I have. The other thing that I love is that I think there's a total of 13 books so far in her series, but they take place in the span of, I think, about 3 years, between 2 and 3 years. So it's not like a year passes between each book. Time is compressed, which I love because she's making great use of that Regency time period. So the first book is What Angels Fear, and it is set in 1811. The threat of revolution haunts the upper classes of King George III's England. Then a beautiful young woman is found raped and savagely murdered on the altar steps of an ancient church near Westminster Abbey. A dueling pistol discovered at the scene and the damning testimony of a witness both point to one man, Sebastian St. Cyr, Viscount Devlin, a brilliant young nobleman shattered by his experience in the Napoleonic Wars. Now a fugitive running for his life, Sebastian calls upon his skill as an agent during the war to catch a killer and prove his own innocence. In the process, he accumulates a band of unlikely allies, including the enigmatic beauty Cat Boleyn, who broke Sebastian's heart years ago. In Sebastian's world of intrigue and espionage, nothing is as it seems, yet the truth may hold the key to the future of the British monarchy, as well as Sebastian's own salvation. So I'm going to show you the other books that I have, but I won't read from the synopsis because I don't want to give anything away if this is a series that you choose to try, and I highly, highly recommend it. They are not overly violent. However, they are, mysteries written in the 1800s, and so there is a little bit of violence, historically appropriate, let's say. She never overdoes it, but, it's in there. So we have When Gods Die, which is set in June 1811. Why Mermaids Sing, September 1811. Where Serpents Sleep, London 1812. What Remains of Heaven, London 1812. Where Shadows Dance, also 1812. Why Kings Confess, January 1813. Who Buries the Dead, 1813. When Falcons Fall. And this one is actually set outside of London. This one is set outside of London. Most of them are set in London, but this is set in Ayleswick on Thames, 1813. And then Where the Dead Lie, London again, 1813. So these are only the ones that I have. Like I said, I believe there are 13 in the series. And these are books that I consistently give 4.5 to 5 stars to. I just love this series so much, and so I hope that you will give it a try. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have read this series. I would love to talk about it with you. And also let me know if I've piqued your interest and you think you might give this series a try. Thanks for watching, and I will see you for another video soon. Bye.